Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we are looking at Touche. This board game uses playing cards and pieces to form a complex game of excitement and thrills. Or at least that's what I'm told. This is by Wayne Bobette Enterprises from 1994. It's for 2 to 6 players ages 10 through adult. Now, as you can see it's a very simplistic box design. But don't let that deceive you. This actually has a pretty decent reputation among my friends. It took me a little while to find a copy, though. The outer packaging has some really cheap coating on it, so it feels really almost grainy and a little sticky feeling, like you're touching something that's been dirty, because it catches dust really, really well. So let's open this up, take a look at what we got. It's kind of hard to open the box because the coating is so bad that it kind of holds it in place. Alright, so here's our instruction sheet. It's actually not that complex of a game. It just looks a little more complicated than it actually is. Very easy, straightforward to play. So here's our game board. This has the same cheap coating on it, so you want to be a little attentive to that. And this will break very easily along the seams. You can see here my copy's a little bit banged up. It's got a tear here from somebody not folding it correctly. And the back has that same kind of cheap, feels like lacquer. That's why I always call it lacquer. It feels like it. But it's a pretty straightforward game board. It doesn't look as intimidating as it probably will when you first read the directions. So don't let the general idea of the game seem more complicated than it is. Alright, we've got 4 sets of player pieces. If you're playing with more than 3 or 4 if you're playing with more than 3 people, you're supposed to divide into teams so you can play more people. So I went ahead and counted these pieces. You should have at least 60 of each color. And then here's your playing cards. We'll look at those last. Okay. So each one of these is just a little box with a whole bunch of pieces all over the floor. So here you got blue. And as you can see, these are kind of uniquely shaped. So you will have to stack them a little bit to get them to fit in the box. If you want to get them all in the box carefully and not just spray them all over the floor like I did. You should have about 60 of these pieces. I'll pick those up in a minute. There's yellow. Same deal. Purple. The boxes are a little cheap, but since you're only going to use them a little bit, it's not that bad. And there's black. I'm clearly missing some of these. But that's not as big of a deal because most of the time you're going to be playing teams anyway. So let's take a look at the playing cards. Okay, so you get 2 decks of cards, and they are identical. They're just standard deck of playing cards, but they have unique features to them. Like they come in this little box. The box is okay construction. It's copyright 1994, Wayne Bobette Enterprises. And the cards have a backing of the image of the card. So each face card is different than a normal deck would be, so let's take a look at them. It's a 52 card deck plus 2 jokers in each one. Note the color is a little bit more magenta looking, and it has kind of a 80s color flair to it. There's the first Joker, and the second Joker is identical. So those are the cards. It's actually a pretty nice set of cards. They're not linen backed or anything like that, but they're a pretty decent set. Better than I expected. Good card thickness, pretty sturdy construction. Way better than I was expecting. So be aware that you have 2 decks of 52 and 2 Jokers in each one. So 54 cards per pack. Pretty standard replacement deck. You could use regular cards, but if you're a completionist like me, you'll want the originals to kind of round out the set. So might be kind of hard to track these down though. So that is it. What is inside of Touche, the 1994 version from Wayne Bobette Enterprises. It's a pretty cool looking little game. I remember liking it when I played it, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone. It might be a little confusing for some casual gamers. So you're probably going to want to find people that are used to playing card games and have them play. It's definitely going to be more up their alley. But 2 to 6 players, ages 10 to adult, doesn't seem like it's that hard to learn, but it is going to look a little intimidating because it's going to look more complex than it is to your normal casual players. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool. The coding isn't that great on the box or the main board, so you'll want to make sure that board isn't cracked, and of course you'll want to make sure all the cards are there. The pieces, I won't worry too much about that. Realistically, you're probably only going to play with 3 to 4 people anyways, so you can break them up into teams or just use 3 of the sets. So make sure you've got most of the pieces and you should be okay. So that's going to do it for this episode. We've seen what is inside. I told you my opinion on it. Overall, I think it's a pretty good set. But that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss future reviews and unboxings. If you want to help the channel in other ways, links are in the description and on the About page. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.